So that ding means it's recording, so I'm going to do make a registration screen, right? So the requirement says, using Unity or Visual Studio, create a screen which can collect users' name and email address. The screen should have a button that, when clicked, saves the information to a text file somewhere on the user. Oh, we haven't done text files. Okay, so that'll be a little interesting. All right, so let's do that. So we'll do the first part. That's super easy. We're going to do this in Visual Studio, just because it's super easy in Visual Studio. So I'll create a new file, or a new project rather. Make sure it's in Visual C#. I'll call it registration screen. And it says it wants the user's email address and name, right? Just go make sure. User's name and email address. So I need 2 text boxes. I need 2 labels. I need 2 turntables and a microphone. Well, that's too old a song now, isn't it? It's a song from the 90s, sorry. Okay, I'll stretch them out a little bit. I'll change the label text. Spelling doesn't count. Okay, I'll go ahead and change the names on these. Now the first thing I usually do, and I did it earlier, I usually make sure that I've set this to alphabetical mode so that I can find things. And the name is always going to be at the top because it's in parentheses. They did it on purpose. So let's do txt username and txt email address. And then the requirement says a button, when clicked, saves the information to a text file somewhere on the hard drive. Alright, so we'll do a label, or excuse me, a button. Oh, that's a terrible name. Why don't we call it btn save? And the text, we'll have it say save. And then I will just do the bare minimum for this, right? Which is really what you should do. In the world of programming, you don't really get points for doing extra work. In fact, that will usually get you into more trouble than you think. If you had a bunch of features that weren't on the schedule, that weren't in the original project plan, that's bad. We don't do that in software engineering. Overachieving is fine. If you're the only one on your project, it's your project, you're making it. But if you're working on a team, you pretty much have a plan, you got to stick to the plan. So we're just going to stick to the plan on this. It just says the screen should have a save button that, when clicked, saves the information to a text file somewhere on the hard drive. It doesn't say I have to present a save as dialog box and allow them to name the file. It just says I have to save it somewhere. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to save it somewhere. And since I don't have that code memorized, I'm going to do what every programmer does and look it up on Stack Overflow. Okay, lots of MSDN. Actually, I think these are actually pretty good. Looking for the word using, because I have done this more than once. Okay, there's an array of strings, right? One string to a text file. That sounds perfect. So there's the text, and there's the thing. Okay, perfect. I'm going to use this. So it says in the requirement that, and if you show me where you got it, that's okay with me, because again, this is how everybody does it. I'm just telling you that right now. That's where I got it. I like that you can look things up. Let's double click the save button. I need the username and the email address from those text boxes. So I'll do this the long way. I'll make this a little bigger so everybody can see it. I'll create a variable called username, and I'll set it equal to text username. I misspelled it, but that's okay. txt email address dot text, and now I'll make a string. There we go. And just so I can keep it on one screen, I'll concatenate that's going to put it right there in the same place. Okay, why are you mad over here? Oh, I didn't spell it right. Output string. There we go. Okay, we'll go to the end. Probably going to need an import, but that's okay. Actually, I won't need an import because I specify the whole thing. But it's file.write all text. It's not going to find it because we haven't done what? We haven't imported it, right? So let's do that. This is better. Okay, where did I get that? I can see that right here. So system.io. Actually, this is the one I'm going to use. So system.io, and now I can use file.write all text. And it wants the path and the string contents. I can see that from the two arguments in the documentation there. So the file path is going to be text file name, and the contents are going to be output string. And if I want to be super awesome, we'll use the dialog box trick again. So I'll just say message box dot show. Whoops, and I'll just say done. That way I'll know it worked. Let me see if it worked. Says done. That's good. Let's see if it saved the file. I'll go to the location, and it'll be in bin debug, and there it is. Ta-da! Good. We'll stop the recording. Oh, that's not the recording, is it?